to the past in the DeLorean to this moment from earlier tonight?
Man, what I saw about Danny when I was with Cleveland, guy didn't get a lot of playing time, but he practiced hard. He battled against, Boobie Gibson, LeBron James every day. And, I told him, I said, look, I play with a lot of shooters. And I'm not going to tell you how to mess your shot because I've never been a shooter, but I played with D. Scott. I played with guys, Jeff Turner. Every time they left it, just leave it up there. I've seen Stojakovic. I played with Rick Fox, Big Shot Bob. Every time they leave it, it goes in. So I used to always tell him, just leave it. And then, he went on and played with the Spurs. Like, I'd go down there and see him, and I always tell him, I just brought him over here because I saw him messing around in the warm-ups. And I said, hey, man, this is the finals. Leave it and stop effing around. Get your game right.
Yes,
here is the video of the whisper heard around the basketball world.
And it wasn't a nice whisper. I wish I could repeat what I said. But listen, all these young guys, I played with him, and I've been a leader my whole career. And listen, this is the finals, and he hasn't been playing well. And we all know what he can do. When he was with the system, Coach Popovich was me. Coach Popovich would pull him to the side and say whatever. And I just want everybody to, play at a high level. And I saw him messing around. I was over here looking at it. It kind of upset me. And I pulled him to the side.
It upset you?
Yeah, it did. Because, he's out there laughing and joking. When you're shooting 20%, it ain't no laughing and joking.
But
like, I used to come out here. Yeah, I used to come out here and see Samaki and Devin Jordan guys, and I used to pull them back and say, hey,
just laid out two dudes.
No, because you know why? Chris Webber hates Samaki Walker. Shout out to my man,
Devin
Samaki. He won
Jordan.
the championship after dancing on stage with Shaq. Shaq, can you do Samaki, we might win 3. We might win 4.
You know what's funny, too, is because when we saw Kenny, look, the Warriors, one thing, they ton of fight in this game. Not just from Steph. They were diving on the ball, grabbing loose balls, rebounds, doing the best they could. But the three-pointers from Danny Green, the one from Van Vliet late, a couple from Gasol, it was the three-point line, Jet, where really the Raptors seemed to shut down any momentum when the Warriors started to get the crowd into it late.
Well, it's a different game when there's no Klay Thompson on the floor because the defensive assignments change dramatically. The passing lanes change dramatically because you have to start guarding both Klay and Steph at such a high area of the floor. It leaves so many more driving lanes from Draymond. But now one side of the floor all of a sudden shrunk in because you don't have to guard guys at the distance. So your help defense is better, your recovery defense is better. But when both of them, or 3 of them, when Durant is on the floor, it makes it virtually impossible to play the one thing that you learned when you first pick up the basketball to play defense. Help and recover. You cannot do that when they have those shooters on the floor. So the basketball principles that you learn from Dor are thrown out the window.
And this question goes to the panel. Have you ever been in a club and see somebody dance? They're in rhythm and then they do a move and then they're off rhythm? Toronto played in rhythm all night. No ill-advised shots, draw, kick. When they got the lead with 4 or 5 minutes, when they had the lead in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, they came down, they took their time, and they played great. The others played great. Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
This is why me and Kenny.
Give Kyle Lowry some love.
This is why me and Kenny and Charles were always on Kyle Lowry because the way he's playing now, we want to see him play like that all year. He's always up and down, but listen, this playoffs, today, they needed him to step up. He stepped up well. Everybody played well. Everybody took rhythm shots. Everybody played their role. Ibaka was big defensively with those 4 blocks. Gasol was very aggressive, going at, DeMarcus, and they played well. They believe that they can win the championship, and they showed it tonight.
And Lowry, not only was he big, but even after getting pushed by a fan, which everyone has seen that video by now, hopefully that guy not allowed back in the arena. Where, by the way, in this arena, they are chanting, "Let's go Raptors."
Toronto is holding
at
it down.
Oracle, which means
it's not over.
that they are as excited as I'm sure.
It's not over. I said with Toronto fans.
They deep in here.
Well, they argue on set. Listen to Coach Nurse, who has no arguments after being up 2-1.
Say, questions for Coach? We've got the boom mics around the room. Please raise your hand. We'll take the first question in the back on 4.
Coach in the back, Arash Madeni with Sportsnet. Danny Green said before the finals, people would stop him in the street and say, keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. He said, I'm going to keep shooting. What did you get from him as a shooter tonight?
Well, I think Danny's, buckets, I think boosted our whole team's confidence because we're kind of used to most of the year relying on those. And I think, when he banged a couple there and then he kind of kept it going, I think it was just a huge confidence boost all around.
Over on the right side.
Okay. Coach over here, Dan Devine from The Ringer. I had a question. Kyle Lowry, sort of a tough couple of games to start the series offensively with foul trouble. Did you have a sense that he was sort of going to be able to break out, and what did you see from him that led to his great performance tonight?
Yeah. I had a little talk with him before the game, and his kind of comments to me was he was going to let it rip tonight. So that was good. You saw him aggressive in transition, but again, usually when he's going good, it means he's hitting the paint. He's attacking off the screen and roll and really getting downhill. That's usually a sign that he's got a lot of his offensive game and confidence going.
Steve in the back.
Obviously, a big night for the Raptors. Their fans here singing "Oh Canada" while Coach Nurse
Stop it.
is talking.
Hey, listen, they're deep in here.
Hey, look.
Hey,
Listen.
Shaq, at least let
Hey,
the fans
the
front run.
North is-
They know it could be over next week. They
If
know
I
it
got-
could be over in a
listen,
second.
If I got a wolf in the backyard and he's not trying to do nothing, leave him alone.
But they don't know where
Don't
they're
wake
not.
these people
Don't
up.
know. Bronx
yeah,
Adams.
okay.
Hey, this is their first.
Yeah,
this is their first experience.
What
They
they
don't
freaking
know.
do, stop it.
They
Be
don't
quiet.
As long as they look, the hamstring situation we don't know about for Game 4. We do know this. Hamstrung or not, the performance of Steph Curry. Let's get into the history of it because you look at the numbers here, guys. 45 points, 5 boards, 5 assists in a finals game. I mean, that's an impressive. Look, we're talking about the logo. Barry, Iverson, James. I mean,
Stepping over Ty
that is an
Lue. I remember that
impressive
game.
list. And Webb, how surprised were you in some points of this game how much freedom Steph seemed to find, both with help of his teammates in the offense to get shots and also with his tenacity of getting into the paint?
The great thing about Steph is he doesn't settle, so you always have to be on guard. So he's going to walk into a three like that. Of course, the defense can be better. You should get up, but at the same time, what do you do right here knowing that he's a great passer? As soon as you think about him, what happens? He gets the ball up. Now, Siakam doesn't stay on the double team. He doesn't settle, and that's why when you look at teams that play just analytics, let's say Houston will miss 27 threes in a row. Curry will shoot a layup and not just the three. So he plays common sense with analytics, and that's why it's so hard to guard him. But even more, AI is probably the smallest guy on that list. But when you think about what he does, what he did today without the help of the other players, man, it's just a special game to watch.
In watching this game, and for those of you at home, the biggest thing that hampered Shaq, this Warriors offense, which was not something that I think people thought before the game, the loss of Kevon Looney. Why? Because Boogie, after all those minutes in Game 2, running on adrenaline, kind of seemed to run into a bit of a wall. We're going to show and break down some of that video in a second. Steve Kerr's seen his team rise above many challenges in the past. They're down 2-1 now in these finals.
Third row on the fourth seat in. Oh, sorry, fourth row. Fourth row.
Steve, Paul Antunes, ESPN Brazil. Even though you lost, it seemed like in that fourth quarter, you guys were flying around, diving on loose balls, and just playing really, really hard. Considering all the adversity you guys are going through here in the playoffs, how proud are you of your guys tonight?
Oh, very proud. They played really, really hard and gave it everything they had, and just ran into a better team tonight. Toronto played an excellent game. Made big shots every time they needed to. We never could get over the hump. Every time we fought back and kind of got it to 6, 7, or 8, whatever it was, they made big shots. So they outplayed us. They deserved it. And but I'm very proud of our effort. And now we just got to bounce back and hopefully get back here Friday night. Hopefully get a little healthier and get some guys back. But we'll see how that goes. But main thing is just got to play better.
Is Steph's performance tonight one of the best you've ever seen?
Steph was incredible. The stuff he does is he does things that honestly I don't think anybody has ever done before. The way he plays the game, the way he shoots it, and the combination of his ball handling and shooting skills, it's incredible to watch. He was amazing.
Second row on your right.
Coach Trista Crick, USA Today. You obviously want to err on the side of caution when it comes to injuries, but was there any of the mentality of lose the battle, win the war as it relates to sitting Klay tonight?
Well, the whole point was to not risk a bigger injury that would keep him out of the rest of the series. So that was the decision we made, and I feel very comfortable with it. Never would have forgiven myself if I played him tonight and he had gotten hurt. So you live with the decision. You make a wise decision, the wisest one you can, then you live with it and you move forward. So the good thing is Klay has done well the last 2 days. Now he's got another couple of days to heal. Hopefully he'll be out there Friday.
Tim, over.
Stars leave. There's a reason.